Have you ever met and worked and related to people that are difficult to give feedback to? I mean, even when they are wrong, it is difficult for you to give them feedback that can make them recognize they were wrong. Or even when they are right, it is hard for you to give them feedback that can help them recognize they can improve on what they have done and go even much more high. Because these people are difficult to get feedback. And whether you are praying or doing whatsoever, certain qualities, when they are upon us, they push people away from us instead of drawing them out. Be a person of instruction. All of us needs, at a particular level, somebody who can instruct us, including me. I need somebody that I can meet and be quiet at a particular time, and they talk to me and they make me see things that I'm unable to do. Those are characteristics of successful people, the willingness to take instruction. Hello and welcome to Expansion Revolution Nuggets. Thank you so much for joining me today. I want to take this level of discussion on our perception about work to another level, especially dealing with people dynamics, people issues at the workplace. I tell you, there are a lot of us who are not happy because of how our relationships are at the workplace, and therefore this is a very godly exercise to make sure that you have relationships in your life that seeks to build you and to help you go forward. Today I want to deal with something that is very common, but I just want to share knowledge, because you see, knowledge empowers us. The scripture says, my people are perishing because of lack of knowledge. So when we know, we are better empowered. So today I want to talk about the type of people that we call difficult people at the workplace. Call them the bad boss and the bad colleague. So let's start first of all with looking at some of the common characteristics of difficult people at the workplace. And like I'm saying today, I want to start today by focusing on difficult supervisees. What are some of the major characteristics of supervisees that are difficult to deal with at the workplace? Here's the reality of the game, is that at the workplace there will be people who are difficult to deal with. People that when you meet, you would regret having met them. But the question of today is, how do we identify these people so that we may know how to react to them and how to respond to issues that comes from them and how to handle them. So you need to know which tool at what time it will be good for response. Now, let's just hit some of the major characteristics of difficult supervisees. Number one, they are hard to please. You are dealing with a difficult supervisee when he or she is hard to please. In other words, when you lower your standard or raise them high in order for you to budget or to try to be considerate for where this person is, you never get them into a position where they acknowledge you as a supervisor to say you have done well and you have gone to where they are to help them get what needs to be done. People who are difficult to please are hard and difficult to deal with. So you are, if you see tendencies of not being easily pleased by anything, it is hard to get you to be happy, hard for you to get everything done that puts a smile on your face. You are likely to be difficult to deal with. I don't want to talk about this one here, but there are difficult spouses to deal with. And the characteristics are the same. If your spouse is difficult to please, you might be dealing with a difficult person. Now, at the workplace, people who are hard to please are difficult to deal with, because whether you change techniques, tactics, rules, and anything to try to accommodate them, they never get into a place where they are happy about what is being done at the workplace. Number two, people who are difficult, supervisors who are difficult to work with at the workplace are hard to give feedback. Hard to give feedback. Have you ever met and worked and related to people that are difficult to give feedback to? I mean, even when they are wrong, it is difficult for you to give them feedback that can make them recognize they were wrong. or even when they are right, it is hard for you to give them feedback that can help them recognize they can improve on what they have done and go even much more high. Because these people are difficult to get feedback. Whenever you bring feedback towards them, they put on a defensive mode and block everything, whether good or bad. If you are experiencing some difficulties with accepting feedback, then you need to grow and you need to loosen up, because feedback is one of the processes through which God grows up. God has put in the art of feedback to allow us to be able to overcome our little minds and our little opinions. That's why the scripture says, he who rejects feedback and believes is wise in his own eyes. And when you are wise in your own eyes, it means you cannot look at things from the perspective of others. I want to encourage you through this broadcast, learn to accept feedback and learn to be quick to even to ask for feedback before people can bring it. It is an attitude of the mature to learn to accept feedback and to receive feedback. So people who are supervisors who are difficult to deal with at the workplace are difficult to give feedback. Number 3, they are difficult or hard to take instruction. So hard to please, hard to give feedback, and hard to take instruction. How is your willingness to obey at a personal level? There are supervisors who never take instruction. As a matter of fact, you give them this instruction, they will take the opposite of it. When you are that type of a person, you are making it too difficult for people to deal with you, because you keep on shifting the goalposts. Now, you need to become a person of value, who takes instruction, who fulfill with speed what is being required from them. That's how you make yourself better. Majority of us like praying for promotion and praying for God's breakthrough without dealing with attitude that sometimes we display that as thinking and anti-promotion. If you never take instruction from anyone, who do you expect is going to bless you and promote you and give you the opportunity to become the next manager? When you are so intentional about making sure that you never obey any instruction they give to you. Maturity requires that we learn the art of taking instruction. And at the workplace, even at the home, there is a place for instruction. Make it easier for people who work with you to give you instruction. I like that point. If we can start it from there, we can deal with a lot of conflicts. Can you make it easier for your partner or for your colleague or your supervisor to give you instruction? Don't display non-verbal cues that pushes them away. Don't move away from your desk and make it hard for you to be available. No, come forth and say, is there anything that I can do for you, boss, today? When you are like that, you are proactive, and people begin to recognize you like your work, and they'll give you work with a considerate attitude. But if you keep on running around and you never act on instruction, people are going to look at you as a very difficult person to deal with. And whether you are praying or doing whatsoever, certain qualities, when they are upon us, they push people away from us instead of drawing them out. Be a person of instruction. All of us needs, at a particular level, somebody who can instruct us, including me. I need somebody that I can meet and be quiet at a particular time, and they talk to me and they make me see things that I'm unable to do. Those are characteristics of successful people. The willingness to take instruction. Number 4, people who are difficult to deal with always complain. They always complain in the progression of implementing the thing that they agreed to do in an earlier discussion. So you need to recognize that you need to grow and reduce your continuous spirit of murmuring and complaining. You are always looking for faults and always looking for mistake, and in the process of that, you miss God's plan. Do not be found among the people who are always complaining. Find something to do that you can compliment. Find something on a failed project that you can say, this was done well. Create that mindset, because success is going to require both creative and critical mindset, the ability to see things as they are, and the ability to create solutions that are needed to drive you into your location. So difficult people always complain, and that's not a good quality. Reduce your level of complaining. Number 5, and the last one, is that difficult people at the workplace are quick to find faults, and they are quick to blame others, and they're normal ones to make verbal affirmation on their stand. So, how are you? Are you quick to blame? Are you quick to find faults? When you walk into a place, instead of acknowledging and liking things, you are quick to stop them and to condemn them. Learn the art of appreciating things that are done right before you are quick to jump into the conclusion that they are wrong and blame and criticize. If you do things that way, people will never give you feedback and people will run away from you because they know you are always looking for faults and not looking for excellent areas that have been done according to the script. Thank you for joining me today. Let's see you again next time. I love you. See you tomorrow.